And we are finally live, and so sorry about the delay. We were having some technical issues, and but technology. We love it only when technology works.
Right.
And welcome to the weekly show of Classroom Without Walls, using social media and technology to reimagine education. My name is I'm the host of this weekly show. I created this show because I believe our society has changed. Social media energy play a huge role in our changing society. As educators, we need to embrace this digital transformation and change how we teach and interact with our students. On this show, I interview leading professors and professionals like Jeremy Miller regarding topics related to social media, technology, change, disruption, education, and learning. If you are new to the show, thank you so much for being here. If you are a returning attendee, you know how much I love you. And if you are watching this on on replay, thank you so much. Future people, I also appreciate you. Today, I am so honored that Jeremy Miller is with us. Jeremy is a super successful 18 years old business owner. He's the president of Inspired Blue Media. He's also the co-founder and the CMO of Idea Vice, a startup company that helps people connect and collaborate and transform our society. And Jeremy's specialty is in Facebook analytics, Facebook marketing, and content marketing. He has been featured in so many major publications such as Forbes, Inc., Success Magazine, Mashable, BuzzFeed, and Future Sharks, and so much more. Jeremy, we are so honored that you are here with us today to share with us more of your journey and tell us more about your story and some advice that we can learn. And welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Is there anything you want to add to my really brief introduction of you?
Oh, that was more than enough. That was awesome. I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. I just want to say hi to my people here, Des, Gary, and thank you so much for being here. And if you don't mind, give us a like or a share and tell us where you are joining us from. That will be really, really great. And today's show is going to be a little bit shorter, about 30 minutes. So I am just going to dive into the questions. And thank you again for being here, Jeremy. So you have such an incredible journey. You started your very first company when you were 16 years old, and second one when you were 18 years old. And how can you tell us more about your journey, and how did you transform from being depressed to a successful business owner at such a young age?
Absolutely. Well, it's been a journey. Like you said, it's been a roller coaster, up and down. A lot of things you've got to overcome. A very lonely road too, especially being an entrepreneur in high school and attempting to own and operate a business in high school. I went to a private school, so I had a small class. I was the only one in my entire class who even understood the concept of entrepreneurship. So it was very lonely. Coming out of depression, I chose entrepreneurship as a therapeutic. It was therapy for me to get out of depression, because the root cause of true entrepreneurship is you're serving others. So I fell in love with that concept, and like you said, I started my first business when I was 16 years old. It was a longboard, skateboard clothing company. I worked 2 jobs. I worked at an NFL stadium, and then I worked at Chick-fil-A, and then I had some side gigs, lawn mowing, that sort of thing. I invested $8,000 of my own money in a 9-month period of time. I lost it all, though. But the reality is in that 9 months of just trying to start this business, I learned more about entrepreneurship and marketing and finances and how to grow people and how to sell a product than 4 years of an entrepreneurship class. So there's a lot of failures, a lot of challenges that I overcame, but they're all learning experiences. So a lot of times, people will be just so awed by me being where I am at my age, but often what they don't see is all the failures and the challenges where I learned, because when I believe it's so valuable when entrepreneurs develop self-awareness, because You're able to understand your weaknesses and your strengths. You're able to double down in your strengths, and you're able to be super focused. You're able to be like productive, but not just busy. And so when I was able to develop self-awareness by overcome those failures, it really propelled me to get to the point of where I am. So the first company that I started, that I sort of closed up shop in July of 2016, then started the advertising agency, which is what I'm fully operating now, in August of 2016, which that's very blessed to be able to say it's been rising and exponentially growing, which has led to a couple other ventures, which I'm so thankful for. IdeaVise, I'm a co-founder of. That's about to make moves and help out so many entrepreneurs. Then another venture that I'm very happy to be involved in called SnapShift, which is essentially an Uber for shifts for the bar and restaurant industry.
Wow, I just feel so inspired to just hear you talking about your story. I really love on your Facebook page, you shared a why video of why you get started on this. So can you just briefly tell us what is your why? What is that why? Because I really, really love that story. And I think our audience can really get a lot, feeling really inspired from that story from you.
Yeah. So I'm going to be completely honest, is when I first went to entrepreneurship, it was selfish for me because it made me feel significant. It gave me purpose, and it got me out of depression. So I was doing it for me, and it was great. It got me out of that dark life. But in a Wednesday in July of 2016, it was after a church service. I saw an old friend who was going through terrible, terrible things. His family was falling apart. He was in drugs. He was drinking a lot, and he was underage vaping as well. Just a terrible, terrible life situation, which was where I was 2 years ago. So 2 years before that time. He knew that. So he was asking me about my business because he was a skateboarder and I was building skateboards. So we had a way to relate to him, or I had a way to relate to him, which was a skateboard. And so he was asking me about my business and how things were going. And at the time, I was just so passionate and excited and just full of purpose. So I just gushed on him. Just let him know everything that's going on. And he just sat there and listened to the whole story. We had a great conversation. Well, later that night, he sent me a text message. He said, "Hey man, I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm just lay it out there. Seeing that you were able to make that transformation, seeing that you're able to come out of a life of drugs and alcohol and where you were, and you're able to overcome that and have this new life and this fresh life of happiness and joy and peace, it gave me hope and it has inspired me to try to do the same thing." He had planned to overdose on heroin that night. He sent me that in a text message. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this entrepreneurship thing, it's not just for me. It's not just a way to give me purpose. I can actually save lives, and not even just impact lives and serve people, but I can actually save lives. And so that's just completely changed my entire view on entrepreneurship. So that's why I do entrepreneurship now. That's why I operate businesses, because I believe it can impact lives and serve people and even save lives if I'm in the right position. Business has always been able to put me in positions where I can really speak to people where most people can't. I'll go to high schools and talk to students. Well, oftentimes a 40-year-old teacher, it's much harder for the students to listen to the teacher because they're 3-4 times their age. But for an 18-year-old kid to walk in and be like, "Hey, I know where you were. I was just where you were. It gets better." For me to be able to do that, it really gives me the platform. Business really gives me a platform to be able to do those things, really be able to relate to a lot of young people, and I'm joyful for that.
This is such a, when I watched that video, I almost cried because I can really feel the passion coming from your heart. And I can see that you really use that instance as a way kind of to guide you and to start this journey, which is truly amazing. I really think we need more business leaders like you who are just so compassionate, not just self-promotion, but really caring and care about our society. That is incredible.
Thank you.
And you also... Yeah. You also have been featured in so many major publications, as I introduced you earlier. So I'm just curious, how did those amazing opportunities come to you? And what can we learn as educators and communication professionals from this super successful media coverage?
Yeah, so my first media coverage was futuresharks.com. And so usually how it goes, at least what from I've seen, and when I've helped other people get PR, get media, or help companies, is the first piece of media is really hard. So you got to really hustle and work to get that first interview, that first mention, whatever. So you got to, a lot of people, when they try to get media, they want it instantly. And what I did was I planted seeds and added value to these writers for like even months. So like the Inc. magazine feature. So I got featured in Future Sharks in February. Then I got featured in Inc. magazine. I was actually on the front page of the social media part of IncMagazine.com. But that happened, I think, in May. I think that Inc. magazine feature happened. And if you look at that article, so the writer was John Wiley. He was a phenomenal person. But in the first part of that feature, he talked about how for like a month and a half, I added so much value. Starting out the conversation, I didn't just like, throw my whole story on him. I didn't just say all these things. I was interested in him. Because I asked him questions about his life. Hey, John, what are you doing? What's your story? Because when you're interested in other people, they will naturally become interested in you. So if I ask you, hey, what's your story? Well, naturally, you're going to ask my story. And if I have a compelling story, and so John was interested in that. So for like a month and a half, we just carried on a lot of conversations. I introduced him to a lot of tools. I helped him out. I even helped him out with his advertising, all different kind of things, because I knew that I was planting seeds. In the springtime. I knew that the harvest was going to come later down the fall. I always love to use agricultural metaphors. And so I knew that I was going to add value to this writer. And I don't care if I don't get media even a year down from the road, because maybe just not right now is not the time. So it's adding value and not trying to win it instantly.
That is amazing. That is just like be patient and add value. Think about your audience. So how did you find John? Like at the first place, did you just like randomly find him, or
Sure.
Is he some of your like earlier connections?
Sure. So actually, when I was in high school, I was actually offered two pretty high-paying jobs. While I was in high school, I was offered two $60,000 a year jobs. I mean, that's not that money for some people. Not that much money for some people, but for me, 18-year-old kid, that was a lot. However, I did turn them down because I had a dream and all that sort of things. But how I was able to get the occupation that I have now and the clients that I have, I just built a big personal brand. I just always added value to people. One of the things that I believe I've done right was I get other people to talk about me instead of me going out there and trying to sell myself, because I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell myself. It just feels unnatural. What I've done, by always adding value to other people, and always sharing my story, is other people, they just want to talk about me just because it's interesting news. So if I share my story to this one person, they're like, oh, I just met this 18-year-old kid. He's got this cool story. He's doing advertising marketing. Well, that one person would be like, that's interesting. I might want to reach out to him. So all of my clients and all the startups I'm working with, it's all been inbound marketing because someone else has referred them to me. So I have a philosophy in life that every single person that I meet in life, they're going to lead me to something amazing. They're going to lead me to a huge client, to a huge company, to a huge deal of some kind. I don't befriend them because of that, but I have an open mind to where this person might lead, or this person themselves might become something amazing in my life. So I'm going to treat them with respect and integrity, and I'm going to develop trust with them, because you never know what they might lead you to. And so I've just been able to get a lot of people to talk about me and to basically sell myself and to sell my advertising agency.
That is amazing. I have been a communication professor and professional for so many years, and I just feel like I learned a lot from just the last few minutes, really just to value like relationship building and value the community. That is gold. Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely going to apply that piece of advice and to my own practice. Then, let's move to the next question. The number one reason I started this show is, as I mentioned earlier, I believe like technology is really changing everything. Yeah. And we are going through some radical and rapid changes in our society as a result of technological innovations, advancement. And as educators, we really need to embrace this change. And you just graduated from high school, and coming from a student perspective, and can you please share with us your top 3 pieces of advice that you want to give to people like myself or some people in our audience who are educators? Like, what are some advice you can give to them? And maybe even parents. We also have some parents in the audience. So top 3 pieces of advice.
Okay, top 3. Number 1 is people my age, we aren't confident. We are afraid to take on challenges. We fear mistakes. We fear failing. So we just sit at home all day long on YouTube, on social media, and on Netflix. I mean, everyone in my age, they just sit at home all day long. Well, when you don't, when you don't get yourself out of your comfort zone and try new things and try new challenges and take on new risks, you're never going to develop that confidence. And when we got to understand, a human who is confident performs at a much higher, they're more happy, they do a better job. But you don't get confidence if you don't overcome something. If you don't overcome some kind of challenge. If you've been given everything in your life and you're just going to expect things to be given, you're not going to give yourself credit. But if you overcome a challenge or you take on a risk or you try something that was hard and you're successful at it, you win at something, you become more confident. So I think parents and educators, they need to stop trying to coddle kids so much. Like we need to understand that failing and making mistakes is okay. Honestly, I think that was one of the greatest things that my parents did, was not hold me on this leash. But they were great parents, but they said, like, we're going to let you make some decisions on your own. We're going to give you some responsibility, even though you're not technically an adult yet. So putting me in a position where I can fail on my own, and obviously not hurt other people, but failing on my own, I was able to develop self-awareness and develop confidence, that sort of thing. So number one is we've got to stop coddling kids. We've got to let them understand that it's okay to take mistakes. It's okay to, and obviously there's a balance, because you don't want them to think that the world is theirs and they can't respect their authority. There's definitely value in that. You need to respect your parents, but I also think that parents need to instill in their children, like, hey, it's okay if you mess up. So parents can be intentional on praising good behavior and praising wins much easier, and just being careful on when we're negative. Because if I were to write down like 4 math equations on a whiteboard, and one of the math equations is wrong and the 3 other are right, the human being is going to pay attention more to that negative one, because that's just how our brain works. So if you praise a kid 9 times and you condemn them 1 time, they're going to remember that 1 time a whole lot more. It's going to outweigh all the other praises. So I just think adults need to take into consideration that we need to develop confidence, and we need to take on challenges. We need to take on risks so that we're able to give ourselves credit. So I'd say definitely number 1, young people need to take on more risks. Number 2 is we want to feel like we're heard. We want to have our voice. So intentionally listening, to young people, young teenagers, Gen Z, millennials, whatever, make us feel like we're heard and that our opinions are actually valued, and not even just listening to us, but like even taking it into consideration. One of the coolest things that my school did, when I went to high school, is they came to our class and said, "Hey, what do you guys think that we should, that could be improved on the school?" And it actually turned into a class project where we even then presented to the Board of Education at our school, like, "Hey, here's some things that us students think could be improved at the school." Our entire class loved that. We learned so much about all these different traits and attributes and skills. When the teachers came to us and said, "Hey, what do you guys think should be changed about the school?" Everyone loved that. We were actually excited to come to school because we felt empowered. So 2, listen to we want to be heard and we want to feel empowered. And then number 3, we think very creative and we have a lot of ideas, and so introducing the opportunity for innovation. A lot of times adults, they think social media is this biggest distraction, and don't get me wrong, absolutely, my goodness, social media can be a big distraction, but also you can make a lot of money on social media. You can learn a lot on social media. You can network with people on social media. You can learn from other people on social media. You can learn what your interests are, that sort of thing. You can explore new cultures on social media. So understanding that things like social media or video games, esports. Like esports is a very, very large, quickly growing industry. It's like becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry, and all it is just kids professionally playing video games. Like they're just playing video games. So that's a very new concept that you can make a living. There's some people who make millions of dollars a year just by playing video games. So the third thing is adults, I ask that they understand that there are things changing very quickly in the world, and what might they consider like, oh, there's no way you can ever benefit from that. 20 years ago, like video games or social media, those kind of things, it's not ultimately the case anymore. We can actually find careers and jobs with social media and stuff like video games or YouTube, that sort of thing.
Yeah, those are some really great points you made. And the first one really shocked me. You mentioned that like students, they felt so lonely. That's kind of contradictory to what I was assuming because you guys seem to be so hyper connected.
Right.
And
Connected.
yeah, like so connected. Like
I'll tell you, that is such an interesting point that you brought up because we are the most connected generation, but we are the least engaged generation of any type of generation. I talk to dozens and dozens and dozens of people all day long, but I rarely have actual human interaction because I'm sitting on my laptop in my office 10 hours a day. So yes, I'm connected with you and I see what you're putting on social media, but it's such a front that I'm actually not an authentic. I'm not actually developing a relationship with you. I'm not actually, learning more about you. I'm only seeing, what you want to put out there on social media, which is hard to develop a relationship. Yes, we're connected, but we're not super engaged. There's not an actual relationship going on.
Wow, that is so true. Also, my life, I guess we are all hungry for that, like human to human, like human touch, like
Right.
human connections. Such a great point. And also the last point you mentioned, like social media. I'm just curious, do you think people like your age, definitely not you, like most of your peers, they know how to use like social media to enhance their careers, to do networking, or most of them use social media as toys for entertainment or like social?
Sure. So most of the time, absolutely. When it's a very foreign concept when I say that I'm able to build a business completely on social media, but that's very quickly changing. When I first started doing social media marketing or doing social media stuff in my sophomore year of high school, people didn't understand it because their only idea of what social media was a giant time waster. But by senior year, there's actually other people who are wanting to get into social media marketing in my class. So it's quickly, people are quickly becoming understanding that social media can be a tool where you can network with people, learn things. But I will tell you, the majority, it's 100% a tool. It's a distraction. They're addicted to dopamine, which when we're staring at our screens on social media, it's releasing a dopamine, which is an addictive chemical that is not a good chemical to be addicted to. So definitely that is happening. But as we're progressing, and quickly, the reality is innovation and advancement in technology is duplicating stuff. There's a multiplier. So the last 5 years of what we've advanced in technology, the next 1 year we might advance more technology. So the speed and how quickly these things like social media marketing or connecting with people on social media or learning about other cultures, the speed at that becoming a reality and the speed at people becoming aware of that is going to become much, much, much quicker as time goes on.
Wow, that is just like incredible. Thank you so much. I completely agree. And we also have some people who just joined us. Hey, Elaine, and hey, Lisa, and hey, Krista. Thank you so much for being here. And today we are having a shorter version of our show. So I'm just going to dive into the next question to respect your time. There's a really good comment from Pierre. Can you see the comment, Jeremy?
Yes, I can.
And she also mentioned earlier that it is really nice to hear this from a young person's perspective. And Pierre Krista is an amazing PR practitioner in Florida, I believe.
Awesome. So I'm trying to understand. So many business owners are hiring super young generation because they know social media, but they don't realize that business pages and algorithms behind them are a totally different marketing tool. So, sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but are you saying? Oh, sorry. Can you bring the comment back up?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So are you saying that the young people don't understand the algorithms and marketing tools, or the people who are hiring them don't understand the algorithms and marketing tools?
I think she's saying that the young people doesn't understand. They mainly use social media for personal usage, but they don't understand the algorithm and the business aspect of social media.
Sure. So, well, first we got to understand that social media marketing there's so many different facets of that. There's just posting on pages. There's making videos. There's making content. There's engaging with people, engaging in the community. There's actual advertising. There's lead generation. So there's a lot of there's social media hacks with the algorithm. I understand how the algorithm works. There's a lot of different facets in what social media marketing actually entails. So it's important to understand that maybe a young person might better understand how to share a narrative, how to share a story better. It's kind of like the example, like if I were to walk down the street, in a city and ask a bunch of much older generation people to take a selfie, they might take a selfie like this, where they're looking down, right? But if you notice young people, we take a selfie like this. Well, why is that? It's because we know that there's better lighting and we actually look better. So we understand, the creative side a little more. We understand, what looks better because, we selfishly want to look better on our social media page. So we understand, what pictures look better, that sort of thing. So we can, that same philosophy of making a brand look better than what it actually is, fronting, building that brand, and marketing a product, that sort of thing. We might be able to better understand, how to portray it more on a creative side rather than the actual algorithms and the conversions and the advertising side. Because like a lot of people reference our agency as a social media marketing agency, but really that's not entirely true. We're an analytics advertising agency. We focus on the data. And you're 100% right. Young people do not understand the data and the analytics, that sort of thing, but they better understand the pictures and video, that sort of thing.
Yeah, she has a follow-up comment. She said she's seeing that younger people don't always realize the business pages are different than personal pages. Yeah, that's
right.
true. You also commented on that. Yeah. Because
True.
business owners don't completely, yes, totally. We are on the same page. Yes, definitely. I think that's why we need people, educators or agencies like you to train them. I know you have also worked with Dennis Yu on this, right? Is that the Facebook? Yeah. That's why you're so good at it.
Dennis Yu is one of the best teachers when it comes to teaching young people about Facebook advertising and algorithms and conversions and driving sales. I understand the back end of Facebook, the ads manager, the audiences, all that sort of thing. Dennis Yu is the guy to go to when it comes to advertising, all that kind of stuff, especially teaching young people. If you ask Dennis, hey, Dennis, what is your why? It's creating jobs for young people. So Dennis Yu is the guy to go to for sure about that.
Absolutely. We are fastly approaching to the end of our interview. So I would just dive into the live for you. What is next for you, Jeremy? And how can we help you to share your message more and to really push forward this movement?
Sure. Honestly, I don't know what the next couple of years look like. I don't know, what God's plans are for me. I don't know even what my plans specifically are for me because for two reasons. Number one is because a year and a half ago, I didn't exist online. I had a failing business. I wasn't going anywhere. No one was talking about me. I had no authority or anything. And in the last probably 12 to 14 months, that has completely changed. It's been such fast, rapid growth. So I don't know if that's going to slow down. I don't know if that's going to speed up. I don't know if that's going to stay the same. All I know is that I'm given today, and so I'm given today, and so I'm grateful for that, and so I'm going to do the best that I have today. The projects that I'm given today, the people that are in my life today, I'm going to treat them as best I can because I don't really know what tomorrow looks like. Even just for my life, with all the things going on in the world. So as far as what the future looks like for me, I don't know. As far as how can people help me, I'm really trying to build more of a platform so I can really sort of have a louder voice for a lot of younger people. I'm making videos every single day and posting them on every single platform. So if you're wanting to help me out, find me on social media and show when you watch my videos. If you think about people in your brain about who might want to hear this video, or if they have a kid who might want to listen to it, share that video with them. Whether you're just sharing it on your feed, that's awesome. But if you actually know people who are like, look, I think they really need to hear this video, please share that video with them because not even just for the standpoint of me wanting to build a platform, but also I want people to hear. The people who need to hear the stuff I'm putting out, I want them to be able to hear it. So find me on social media and the stuff I'm putting out, share it with people who need to hear it.
Oh, I love this. This is really like a movement of change to inspire the young generation, especially given what you mentioned earlier. They felt so lonely, not connected. And I think hearing stories like yours can really inspire them. Definitely inspired me. Yes. And one parting piece of advice and get to know more about you, like social media handles and website. And then we are going to say goodbye.
Sure. So, last little piece of advice, like about advertising or just about in general, or just in general?
In general, yeah.
Okay. I think and obviously, this advice is going to be different to who's listening to it, but I think even sometimes adults might struggle with this. But specifically, young people, is patience is so important. We just want instant gratification. Fast food, Amazon, all these things in our life. Fast internet, all these things that are training our brain to have everything instantly. On business and impacting people and changing lives and educating people and building people up, that stuff doesn't happen as fast as your Amazon product or as fast as fast food will come into your car. So not allowing the advancements in technology in the world to keep us humans understanding that good things take a while. Good things take time. It's like the restaurant compared to fast food. Go to McDonald's, okay, it'll be there in 3 minutes, but it's McDonald's. Go to a nice restaurant, it'll take 45 minutes. That's good food. So, developing relationships, building a business, educating people, inspiring them, it takes time. So, patience.
Absolutely. I love that. And for many of you joined late earlier, Jeremy really gave us some great advice in terms of how he got featured in those major publications. And one theme came out is really being patient and providing value, and think about your community. And Elaine also said something that she has been using YouTube channel from 16 years old to resonate with your message. So I think that's truly awesome, to really empower the younger generation. And your social media handle, Jeremy, how can I, your website?
So Twitter and Instagram is at Jeremy Miller with 2 J's. So at Jeremy Miller with 2 J's. And then my Facebook page is facebook.com/Jeremy Ross Miller.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you everyone for being here with us. We are just going to end the show here right now. And next week, the same place, same time, same location, we have another amazing guest, Zella, our own Zella, and we are going to talk about cybersecurity. Thank you so much again, Jeremy. I truly appreciate you. Bye, everyone.